Hello everybody. There is some project. It's called Linux from scratch, and I was wondering and I was thinking, let me use this project. So idea of this project is to make Linux distribution and all this working environment by yourself, starting from bare minimum. Possible minimum. So let's try to find this project Linux from scratch. So it's a website, and basically this distribution, it's just a book, and there is multiple different books, and actually the live CD provides what. So there is a live CD, there is some patches, but basically the main book is this one, and you can just read the book for fun and try to use this book to install, to set up your Linux from scratch, your own Linux. And I will try to make some sort of video tutorial how to make the Linux from scratch. So let's open the book and just follow the book. So there is a stable Linux from scratch, and there is a book, and actually I think I will put this thing outside of video, and I don't know. Let me keep it here for now. And first of all, we need to have some machine where I will install Linux. And I'm thinking to use VirtualBox because I do not want to mess around with my current machine. I'm quite happy. So it's also sort of training for me. So let's create a new machine. So it's going to be Linux, and it's going to be 3.x 64-bit Linux, right? And let's call it Linux from scratch, LFS. Memory size, my host machine has I think 12 gigabytes of memory, so if I give it 2 gigabytes, it's going to be fine. Also hard drive, create a virtual hard drive, dynamically allocated, and the recommendation for hard drive we can find here, creating new partition. And it's they suggesting for boot partition 100 megabyte, and for home, let me see. So for root partition, so minimum it's 4 gigabytes, and 10 gigabytes they said it's reasonable size. So let's make 10. Come on, 10 gigabyte. So here's it. There is a virtual machine, and we need to have some normal Linux already installed, and probably we can really use live CD. The live CD cannot be used to build LFC or later. The live CD is no longer being maintained. However, it still works well for many purposes, such as rescue the packages, and the C books and CD are quite out of date. So I have I have Ubuntu live CD, so let's try to use Ubuntu for this purpose. Okay, so I have Ubuntu, and we want to mount. Let's briefly look at settings first, right? Clipboard, encryption system. So 2 gigs. We do not need floppy, but it might be fine. 1 CPU. Then checked the physical address extension feature on the host CPU will be exposed to the virtual machine. I don't know what is it. Storage. So let's me mount virtual CD drive, and I have Xbuntu here. Serial ATA, yeah, why not? Okay, so let's power it. I don't think we needed this one anymore, so we have this guy running. So unfortunately it doesn't fit in my 720 screen. try Ubuntu, so we will run it from here. So I'm thinking, should I install guest addition CD? I think we're good. So so let's see. First of all, we need to format the disk, right? So let's use gpart. We can use fdisk and all these things, but if we have graphical user interface, why not, right? It's more new. No partition table found. Partition create a new partition, close device, create partition table. Device, create partition table. So what type of partition table do we need? So let's use default value. Okay, and then new. So let's make boot partition and system partition, right? So for boot they said like 100 megs is going to be fine. So it will have different Linux kernel images and other things. So let's call it boot, and it might be xt2 because it's relatively small. Okay, and then let's have for everything else it's going to be system. Okay, and we need to format it. So it's for x2, it's for x4. Looks good, so let's fire it up. Cool, we got it. But I want to mount it in different locations. So Ubuntu actually mount it automatically, so let me unmount it. And I'm going to use this guy. So we do not need gparted. So let me run terminal. And I think I can also run web browser here. And Linux from scratch.org lfs. And we have terminal. So trade online. Creating new partition, which I did, creating a file system partition, which we did, mounting a new partition. So let's do this thing. Ow, I hate this thing, then selection, permission denied. Make dir. So I need to run export again, to run make dir, it's working. Then we need to mount, and this one is SDA, what, SDA 1? No, SDA 2. So we are going to do everything on SDA 2. Right. Swap, we do not need swap, we have 2 gigabytes of memory, so it's going to be more than enough. So what next? So we need to do this thing, and then set up, I hate this thing, set up permissions, and then I can download wget list, save, I can use downloads, and then download all these files. And actually this one is downloads, so now it's downloading. Also I can download MD5 for now. So you can see progress, and it's going to be time-lapsed. So it's done downloading. So let's proceed further. So now it's suggesting, they suggest to run checksum. So I'm going to do this thing, and this thing is in download. Come on, where is it? So where is it? Because it's root. Okay, home, Xbuntu, down. Okay. So everything is okay. Check. So let's go. So this is just a list of packages, and list of patches. And let's do final preparation. Create the requested directory tools. We're going to create the directory tools. Then we are going to make the link to the root. So you will see /ltc/ so there is a link. So everything will go here, but actually it will go to my mounted device. Now they suggest to make the user LFC, LFS user, group LFS. Come on. So we made the user. So this is explanation what this tool does. Basically it's make the LFS user. Then we setting password, and I'm going to set password LFS. And then we are going to change the owner for tools to LFS from root, and also do same thing for source, and then switch to LFS. And after switching to LFS, we need to run export again. Probably it will. No, it's not. Let's find the export. LFS export. Right. Yeah, looks good. So we did export. Now we need to make the bash profile for LFS user. So I'm just copying and pasting everything. Quite convenient. No such file or directory. Oh, I missed the cut, right? It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, now it looks good. Then bash rc, same thing, and we are going to source bash profile. So this is about standard, how do they call this thing? Measure works, like how much it's going to take. I'm using one CPU on my virtual machine, so this J2 will not help us. Test suits, also there is some comments about test suits, and start building our temporary system, Toolchain. So like there is some mentions of warnings, and so let's check. LFS showing correct information. So let's check our environment. So bash is shell in use. sh is symbol linked to bash. O symbol linked to dash. So we need to change it to bash. Ubuntu change sh bash. So what we need to do? Sudo dpk reconfigure. Let me open. And let me do what I need to do. dpk reconfigure dash dp. I forgot. dpkg dash. So the system is shell default. Use dash no. So let me tltc bin. So now it's pointing to bash. Let's see. Next bash is the shell in use. Shell is symbolic linked to bash. awk. So let's check. So it's pointing to mav, and we need gavk. Yum. So gavk. Oh, yum. So we are using Ubuntu. So now let's check. Now it's pointing to gavk. Next, yak is symbolic linked to base. Okay, let's check this one. it's missing at all, so we need Python. So let's see. Looks good. So for each package, using the tar program extractor, change the directory, create package was extracted, follow the instruction, change back to source directory, delete the extracted source directory and any packages. So looks good. So we need to extract Binutils. Okay, so we can go from here. So cd sources, Linux sources. So we need to untar Binutils, cf I guess Binutils. So do we have patches for Binutils? No, so we just go inside Binutils and follow the instruction. So we need to make directory. We made the directory, switch to this directory, then prepare Binutils for compilation. Oh no, Python. Do I need G++ or GCC is enough? Nobody said anything about GCC. I just assume it's fine. So let's run make. Oh, I needed to create a symlink first. Okay, let me start. So render Binutils build. Let me start from beginning. So make dir, then switch directory, then run configure. Should I do this thing first? Okay, let's make it, and then run configure. I'm not sure about G++. Then run make. So there is an error, it's not building. BFD info, make info is missing, make info is missing. So let's try to install it. Make info is missing. I need to install Texas. So let's run make. So looks like it's not complaining anymore about make info. So install make info and then run make clean, make disk clean, and run configure again and make again. So you can try to do this thing by yourself on virtual machine. VirtualBox is free and you can run it on Linux, on Mac, on Windows, and Live CD for Ubuntu also is free. You can download it and do it on any machine, on Linux, on Windows, on Mac. It's going to be exactly same thing. So this is the beauty of your virtualization. Probably you will need to do something because your system is 32-bit, so it might be different. But I'm pretty sure if you have modern computer, it's going to be 64-bit system. You know, I'm pretty sure I need C++ compiler to build GCC. Looks like it looks good. So let's do next step. It's make install. So let me list tools and see Linux from scratch tools. Lib for bin. What we have? What we got? Oh, we got set of tools. Okay. So let's go to the next step, GCC. So first of all, I need to extract GCC. Yeah, so I need to follow recommendation to remove Binutils build and also remove Binutils directory. then extract GCC. Yeah, I should not use V option, it's too chatty. Good, it's done. So we go inside this directory and we need to wait a sec, how about patches? No patches for GCC, so we go inside the directory and untarring the mpfr. So see, without V option it's much faster. Untarring gmp, then untarring mpc. Looks good. Now, yeah, it does some magic, okay, right. Now, detect stack protection correctly. I don't know what is it, but let's run it, and then let's go like this. And just in case, I'll install G++. Do not want to install G++. Reading packages list done, build independence 3, install broken. Update. Yeah, now it's working. Okay. Just in case. So now we can try to compile. So we here. Now we run configure with all these options. So let's see. Did it check for C++ at all? Yeah. Make install. Make. Yeah, see, it's using G++ to compile things. So on this step we are building our toolchain. We need some like this builds we are not going to use in Linux from scratch, but using these tools we will build our final utilities. It takes a lot of time to build this thing. So how much they said? It's 5.9, almost 6 SBU. Oh, this is nice. So we can check like what it's making for us. So we are now on make stage. So make install, it's relatively fast. It's just copying bunch of binaries on correct places. Oh my gosh, it's done. Such a long way to build everything. An interesting thing, as you can notice, it was using build that version, like in first pass version of GCC. So it's kind of interesting. So GCC is building GCC, and then new version of GCC is building itself again. And I think like it does actually 3 times for sanity check. So make install. So that's it. GCC is good. So now is time for Linux. Let's also follow recommendation. GCC build GCC 2. So let's go for kernel, right? And C kernel is like 10 times faster than Binutils. 3.9, so Linux. We have only Linux, right? So tar-xf. I'm not going to use Vista. Okay, so we inside. So it says make mr proper. Okay, so actually we are not going to build Linux, we are going to extract include files and set up it, like you can see inside the tools include. So glibc, oh, it's going to be also long waiting time, I think. Okay, let's do it. tar-xf glibc. Oh, and this guy has patches, so we need to apply patches. Glibc patch-n1, I guess. Glibc patch. Oh, patch. I think it's -p1. Right. So we got the patch and we just follow. So configure. It's good nowadays we have quite fast computers. I do remember it was like even configure was taking like a lot of time. It was really painful to build something, and now it's like takes relatively not too much time. Still long time to build things. So it will take a while to build this thing. 3.9 SBU. Wow, no way, it's done. So it's done with make, right? So next step is make install. So it's installed, and let's do the check. So we'll make the empties program and try to compile it and check the things are good or not. So we got things what is expected, and let's also try to run this application. It's running, it's not crashing, which is good sign. And we can remove all of these things, and this one looks good, so we can delete things. And let's go to Libstdc. So it's relatively fast. Yeah, hooray! tar xf libstd. What std? What the package name? Libstdc. Libstd. What's going on? Where is it? Ah, so gcc tar. Okay, it's tar xf gcc. I should not delete gcc because it's kind of waste of time, but I didn't know. Oh yeah, it's done. So now we are going to follow the instruction. Directory, come on, p. Let's change the directory. Run configure. Now make and make install. Make and make. So it should be relatively fast. It's 0.3 SBU, standard build unit. I do not remember the stands for. Okay, it's done, and it's also installed. So rm ref gcc gcc. Next step, Binutils. Back to the Binutils. tar xf Binutils. By the way, there is no patches. So standard procedure. Then we are setting up compiler to our compiler, and then make yeah, hooray. So make install, it's also did make install, and then prepare the link area just based on the next chapter. So let's do it. Come on. So it was running BFD, and I have no idea what is BFD. Well, let's Google for this thing. BFD Linux. Binary file descriptor library. Okay. Installation of GCC. This is going to be very long, so I will start it, and after I start the process I will stop the video, because actually it's deep night and I need to sleep. And anyway, so rmref binutils build binutils 5 tar fg. So again, untarring it, Okay, it's untarred. So inside GCC and just do copy paste thing. And this long thing. So let me chain it because it's going to take a lot of time and I'm going to sign off from this point. Okay, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll make second part of this video, second part of installation process, and let's see what is coming. TCL, expect, deja, check, and courses, bash, zip. So all these tools, file, find utils, gavc, text, grep, zip, for make, patch, perl, set, tar, text info, till Linux, xz, and then so it strip everything, and then so all these tools, it's all temporal tools, can you imagine? And then it's going to be again same thing, but like for permanent tools, Libs, zlib, file, binutils, gcc, zip, and so on. So yeah, so we are here on GCC pass 2, 7.7, incredible. Okay, thank you for watching, bye for now.